Welcome to Bible Mysteries. You're listening to episode 96, The Final Nephilim, interview with Ryan Pitterson, part 2. What if there are secrets in the Bible the world doesn't want you to know? Are you ready to take the red pill? Now here are your hosts, Scott and John.
Hey, Scott and John here with a reminder to our listeners.
We won't be releasing part 2 of guest interviews to Captivate. It's only available through Bible Mysteries Premium.
That's right. So to encourage you to subscribe, here's a 5-minute snippet from part 2 of our interview with Ryan Pitterson. It's episode 96, Aliens, Genetics, and the Antichrist.
And Ryan, stepping away from the book for a moment, though, but still talking about these things, you and I discussed briefly not too long ago that you felt like that the seals of the scroll in Revelation 6 are not all future, that they began to be opened in the past. And I'd like you to talk about that for a moment. And I want to throw a monkey wrench into the thing and say that I'm starting to see a connection between Daniel chapter 12, when the angel told Daniel to seal up the book until the time of the end. And this is going to bring us all the way back to quantum physics too, where he says people go to and fro and knowledge will increase. And I'm starting to think that not only is God beginning to reveal to his children things that are going to shortly come to pass because the time is right. But I think knowledge is increasing in an evil way, and that the world's going to get as it was in the days of Noah. So is it possible that when the angel said, seal up the book until the time of the end, that was the book that was in the hand of God the Father when the Lamb of the tribe of Judah, or the Lion from the tribe of Judah, the Lamb, prevailed to open it?
Absolutely. That's what I believe. I do believe it was that book. That is the book.
Interesting.
And if you think about it too, there are numerous parallels just between the books of Daniel and the book of Revelation. I mean, Daniel probably gets the most extensive detail of any book outside of Revelation into the Antichrist. And even Revelation 12 and Daniel 12 are very similar. They both reference Michael. And I think they're actually describing the exact same event. That's this time, the war in heaven. And so, yes, I believe that scroll that Daniel sealed is the 7-sealed scroll that God the Father is holding. And we see this in Revelation at the throne. And what I point to is, in terms of the timing of end times events and the chronology, is that when John sees this vision and God the Father is holding the scroll, it says that no man was found worthy to open it in heaven or in earth or under the earth. So I believe that's talking about the entire universe, both realms, spirit realm, earthly realm. There was no one worthy. And that takes me back to the cross. I believe that he was seeing that time was taking place before the crucifixion and resurrection of the Lord Jesus Christ, because right after that, John is weeping. And then it says, behold, lo and behold, a lamb slain appeared in heaven. I believe that's Jesus now ascending to heaven from Acts chapter 1 after 50 days of showing himself to 500 people. And he leaves and ascends in a cloud to heaven. I believe that is when that is describing that exact moment. Because of course now, and it says that the Lion of the tribe of Judah has prevailed. And he is worthy. And of course, Jesus Christ, the Lord, takes the scroll and now he can open it. And so I think that sets the chronology really for Revelation. It's going all the way back to that time. And I think it makes sense because, again, John is told he's going to be shown things that were, that are, and that are to come. So it's the book of Revelation is the only book that's really written outside of time.
Every bit of time, yeah.
Because because he's in heaven. So he's outside of time, right? And even the scroll itself, I believe time itself to God, and this is kind of going back to the physics thing, the quantum physics thing, I believe time as to God is like a scroll. Where rather than being linear, God is seeing all things at all times, and events are just cycling over and over again. And you think about a scroll, the end of the scroll and the beginning of the scroll really are the same. They all line up. And so I believe that's why he was able to see back to before the crucifixion and the resurrection to the time of the resurrection, and Jesus now emerging and taking that book. And I believe Jesus, when he opens the seals, he opens that first seal 2,000 years ago, right after 50 days after his resurrection. I believe the first seal was opened. And in fact, I think the first 5 seals were all opened at that time.
So let's talk about those seals for a moment, because
To hear the entire episode and access all of our bonus content, subscribe to Bible Mysteries Premium Podcast at BibleMysteries.supercast.com.